Never go full Alan Partridge. Okay. For anyone who hasn't watched Steve Coogan, that was quick. That was a quick impression for you. All right, so a bit delayed because of like numerous things like life and trying to find relatives and that kind of stuff. I'm back with Lone Wolf, Cauldron of Fear, Part 3. We are ready to go. Got a couple of my regs in the house. Desert Phoenix, always here. Keith E, always here. Corey Cochran, sometimes here. And I've got a new light as well. Don't know if you can see that. It's like bouncing off my face right now. Haven't quite worked out the best place to put it, but I'm getting there. So I need to, before I start this Lone Wolf stream, couple of matters of housekeeping. In case you haven't known, I have been trying to find my Danish cousins, Mariana and Mette Nielsen, at one point, daughters of Mogens Nielsen. Mogens Nielsen was the brother of my father, Gunnar Nielsen, all of whom hailed from the town of Slagelse, east of Copenhagen. There is a detailed stream about this, including photographs from my father's journey across the Sahara in 1950. But I just wanted to extend some thanks to some people who've been trying to help me out. So one person I needed to give a huge thank you to is Marlene Hald. I think I'm pronouncing that correctly. Oh, my phone is buzzing. Oh dear. I need to. That's just telling me that I'm live. So let's just silence that. So Marlene Hald is a graphic designer, and on her website there is actually a little dedication, as it were, to my father's former fiancée, Ingrid Hash, also known as Ingrid Petra Hash or Haki. I think it's Hash. It's pronounced. Sadly, she was my father's kind of first true love before my mum. And I'm not doing my mother any discredit by sort of telling people about that. But my father talked about her fairly openly. My mum used to make jokes about it, like she was the girlfriend before me. It was all very good humored and that kind of thing. Anyway, so Ingrid was someone I was kind of hoping might still be alive, and sadly, no. She passed away in 2004. Actually, before my father, which is a kind of, I mean, I'm glad that he didn't know that in his lifetime. I'm glad that he didn't know that Ingrid had passed away before him. But she did pass away in 2004. There she is. That's on the trip with my dad when they were in Paris. I forgot about the European folder, which I overlooked. I'm going to be doing a second follow-up stream about my journey to locate my Danish cousins. I'm also going to be talking about my cousin Neville and his two daughters, which is a whole side of the family that I left out. And I have photos of them. So it's a stronger possibility. I'm pretty sure Neville's passed away now, but it's a stronger possibility that I might be able to reconnect with that side of the family. Anyway, we are here to do all things Lone Wolf, so let us not delay. Taylor Swift greater than Disney Star Wars. I have no idea who this person is, but I love you. That's all you need to know. We've got David Macy in the house. Thank you very much. Desert's offering to join on the stream. Yeah, dude, I might send you the link in a sec. Let me get my bearings first. So yeah, so we're on part 3 of book 9, which I have right here. I don't think there's a lot left of the book, to be honest. I think we might wrap this up fairly quickly. Handsome woman. I think handsome is certainly in the 1940s is a term you would apply to a man. But I get your intention, David. Thank you very much. She was a very beautiful woman indeed. And I know my father, first loves and all that. You always think of them fondly. My first girlfriend, Anna Philpott, who we dated for a couple of years. She went on to marry somebody else. I never look back at that time and think about it in a negative context. I think about it as a time when we were both very young, with great idealistic romantic aspirations that probably couldn't realistically be realized. And but you look back at those memories quite fondly, I think, if on the whole it was a positive time. And I mean, I can't remember much of it, to be honest, but I think on the whole it was a positive time. So I digress. Jake, greatly. Thank you for tuning in, those people that are tuning in. It's been a very eventful day because we've had lots happening with the post office inquiry today, which people may know is one of the biggest miscarriages of justice in British history. I've been fairly involved in that because I did the play about it, and I'm a big advocate of the postmasters who were over by the post office. And we had a real star witness on today in the post office inquiry. If you want to check that out, it's on my Twitter timeline. Wow, was she a class act? Couldn't remember anything. Couldn't offer anything. Yet she called herself a forensic analyst. Please, forensic analyst, my foot. Wasn't qualified to do a piss up in a brewery, that woman. I mean, it beggars belief that these people are in pretty high-paid jobs and they wielded power over people's lives, which they destroyed. And now they have the cheek to come back on the stand now and say, I don't remember anything, which I think is utter nonsense. But I'm digressing very far away from the world of Lone Wolf. So let us get into the world of escapism. And we were just about to... We'd been given the permission of the town, I think it's the city of Inari, to try and find the thing that's going to stop the thing that's going to kill the thing. And we're about to continue on our quest. Now, I had an issue with the book at this stage. It doesn't tell you if you get back your possessions, which were at one stage confiscated from you. And I felt that as they were confiscated by the city guard, and clearly you're now being employed by the people who rule the city, it certainly would be within your power to get back your possessions. But that hasn't, as an option, that hasn't been covered yet. It's not stated on page or number 124 of book 9. And I'm going to recap that in a second. But I do have a bit of an issue with that. So my thinking on this is that we should have all of our stuff back because it was confiscated by the very people that have now given us our blessing to continue, and they control the whole city. So I think we should continue. So let me see what happens. I'm just going to turn my camera off for 2 seconds. Bear with me. I'm not going anywhere. Okay, so let us continue. So I'm going to read out where we were at. Let me put the map up. I'm going to put the main map up, actually. So, sorry, not the big map. The map relevant to this book. So let's try and get that up. Been pretty busy, by the way, since I've been on a live stream. I've been to a couple of industry events. As a result of one of those, I have got some exciting guests to announce pretty soon. And then I've got one of the makeup artists from Babylon 5. One of the makeup artists from Babylon 5 coming on the show. And he's done lots of other special effects, practical effects, not just makeup, miniatures, bits and bobs, for a lot of other movies and TV shows. So I'm really looking forward to that. That's Jeff Farley. He's coming on the 17th of October. Okay, so here we are in the Kingdom of Inari. We're in the city of Inari, as it happens. Republic of Inari, which is, sorry, we're in the capital city of Tahu. All right, so this is where we got to. In addition to your supplies, which I'm going to take as all of our possessions have been returned. Now, if someone wants to chime in from the Lone Wolf Authority and correct me on that, I'm happy to be corrected, but it makes sense in the world you've created. Senator Chill provides the winch, ropes, and cradle by which you'll be lowered into the shaft that descends into Zyrax. Upon your arrival at the Square of the Dragons, he personally supervises the assembly of the vital components while you stand with Senator Zillaris and stare in awe at the cauldron itself, the cauldron being the opening into the ground. In the glow of 100 lanterns, because we have counted them, there were definitely 100, it takes on the appearance of a huge, steep-sided sink that is stopped with an equally huge plug of stone. The key to this plug is a rod of coralinium that until this evening has been kept locked safely in the vaults of Anarium. Lots of rooms there. Now it rests in the hands of the president, Senator Chill. Signals that his work is complete, and the president inserts the crystal rod into the plug of the ancient stone. At first, nothing happens. You can imagine the tension. Then a faint sense of vibration begins beneath your feet. Crackling tongues of pale blue fire lap the rim of the plug, and the hiss of escaping air breaks the seal as 3 centuries of grime that holds the plug in place escape. Levers and ropes are brought into action, and slowly the great block is lifted and the shaft of Zyrax uncovered. Turn to 205. Well, I will. Okay, so 205. Let's check it out. 205. There'll be troops posted at the Cauldron. They'll be here night and day to pull you up when you're ready to leave the Zyrax, says Senator Zillaris in an accent that doesn't remotely resemble him when we impersonated him last time. As she helps you into the cradle that will lay you into the shaft. This is the first time I'm realizing it's a woman we're talking about. Let me reinterpret that character. Just give the rope 3 stout tugs. That is the signal. Senator Chill appears to tell you everything is prepared for your descent. Good luck, Lone Wolf. I hope I will be here to welcome your safe return, and that with time you will come to know me as a friend. Sounds like somebody out of Monty Python. The cradle rises and you are swung into position above the entrance. You stare down into the black abyss, your pulse quickening as a damp and icy wind whistles out of the shaft. It carries with it the cloying smell of decay. Is there any other kind? With a wave, your signal, your readiness, and you are slowly lowered into the void. Turn to 226. Okay, 226. For the first few minutes of your descent, you can see redstone walls encircling the cradle. There is a jagged rim of rock marking the end of the shaft, and you are plunged into total blackness. You can make out neither walls nor floor. The shaft itself is now a small circle of pale grey. In the darkness above, if you possess the Magna discipline of divination, turn to 251. If you do not possess this skill, turn to 53. I can't remember if I've got it or not, actually. Let me check. I didn't have it last. I do have it now. I think it was the last one I picked, actually. So I'm turning to 251. Okay, this is all fairly preordained so far. 251. Deprived of your sight as you descend into the lightless void, your Kai perception compensates by becoming more sensitive and more acute. Very good. An image forms in your mind of the events taking place around the cauldron. You see the winch, the faces of the Senate guards who are feeding the rope that supports the cradle. They are joined by another who has come to help with the task. He takes place at the lip of the shaft and grips the rope, but hidden in his hand is a razor-sharp blade. Your throat tightens with fear as you picture the gloating face of Senator Chill. So he's trying to make us fail the mission and cut the rope and send us to our doom. The rope shudders. Instinctively, you grab the rim of the cradle as it jerks violently to one side. Your knuckles whiten and a cold sweat beads on your brow. The cradle swings and twists wildly, and then a terrifying crack echoes in the air. Darkness above as the rope snaps, and you plunge headlong into the abyss. Turn to 141. I will. 141. Okay, there's a few options coming up here. Let's talk about those. You fall like a stone into the whirling blackness. In desperation, you thrust out your arms in hope of seizing an outcrop or a ledge, but there is nothing in the void for you to grasp upon. The freezing wind screams past your face, and your senses are overwhelmed by the horror of your impending doom when suddenly an icy shock engulfs you as you strike the surface of a lake and plunge into its lightless depths. Stunned by the impact and numbed by the icy water, you sink several fathoms before you can muster your strength and strike out to the surface. It's like Jackanory, this, isn't it? Pick a number from the random number table. If you have the magnified discipline skill of Nexus, which I do not, add 4 to the number you have picked. Oh dear. If your total number of backpack items, special items, and weapons is 15 or less, add 2 to the number you have picked. Yeah, I would say it is 15 or less. Each sack of silver and the chainmail waistcoat count as 2 items due to their weight. Well, I don't have the sacks of silver. They were from the last game, and I actually said that I'm leaving them behind, so I don't have those. Back home, yeah, I've got them on my character sheet. Back home, 2 sacks of silver nuggets. But I might have the chainmail. Let me just check. +4 for the waistcoat. I do not have the chainmail anymore. I lost it. I've only got the waistcoat. Okay, so I've got the magic waistcoat. So I don't have that negative rating. Okay, good to see you. Keith, I'm back, but the whole system crashed. Probably hit something. Don't hit something, Keith. Strike out in the rainy and stormy night of ye old London town. The summer has 100% left us. RK has. RK, were you at the London meetup with Critical Drinker? Did I meet you there? Let me know. Right, well, I've got to do a die roll, guys. So give me a second, and I'm going to get the die roll chart up. Well, I did pretty well there. I rolled a 9 with the +2, that would have been 11. But there are 3 options here, and I got the 8 or higher, which is to turn to 114. So I plunged into this icy water. With determined strokes, you rise through the black water and break the surface. Coughing and gasping for At first, the incredible coldness, I think they probably could have used a different word there, stuns your senses, but now it revives them and spurns you to swim towards the distant shore that is gleaming faintly in the half-light. Aching and numb to the bone, you heave yourself out of the lake and collapse on the flat, spongy rocks that line the shore. If you have the Magna Chi discipline of divination, turn to 298. Well, I think we've said we do have that. We do. 298 it is. 298. Turn to 298. Let's have a look. 298. Here we are. Gradually, as the feeling returns to your frozen limbs and your heart ceases to hammer in your chest, you feel bitterness and resentment welling up inside. You lift your face and give vent to an angry shout, cursing Senator Chill for his act of callous treachery that so nearly sealed your doom. Your voice travels through the dark towards a tiny speck that is the shaft of light of the Cauldron 500 feet above. Nobody hears your cry. The Senate is convinced that you have perished in the fall, and they have ordered the plug lowered back into position. Helplessly, you stare into the void and watch, mounting fear and frustration as the tiny speck flickers and then disappears completely. Turn to 218. 218 it is. 218. 218. Your spirits sink as you contemplate your fate, for the only way you know of escaping this gigantic underground grotto has now been sealed off. However, you're not completely without hope. There is always hope. Your senses detect a powerful presence. It is not Gandalf. It is a feeling that you've known before when you have been close to discovering a lore stone, but never has the sensation been as strong as it is now. In the dark subterranean world, your eyes become accustomed to the half-light. You look across the lake to see tiers of grey stone rising out of the water. There are steps of a gigantic staircase that ascends to the arch of a rock veined with glittering minerals. You skirt around the edge of the lake, arrive at the foot of these steps, discover a cave-like hollow chiseled from the stone wall. However, you are exhausted and must now eat a meal or lose 3 endurance points. Well, my endurance is currently 35. I have 2 meals left, so I am down to 1. Okay. To continue, turn to 97. Oh, I go to sleep. I have a nap. Not the best place to have a nap, I'll grant you, but I hope I set up some sort of Rambo traps and things. You are awoken by a fetid stench of decay. Illustration overleaf. Well, let me show you the picture, people. Oh my god. Okay, this is it. I'm facing this thing. I'm about to go into combat, so I'm going to leave the dice section up. I am facing this guy. Yes, very, very lovely. Looks a lot like the last girl someone set me up with on a date. You're woken. Yeah. Okay. Draws trickle down from his ragged lips. The rusty sword held in his twisted, man-like hand is raised aloft in the readiness to the kill. He is a Zargrak's Ghoul. Combat skill 19. Endurance 27. Okay. All right. Well, if you win the combat, turn to 338. I'm pretty sure I'm going to win, so I'm going to mark that now. 338. 338. 338. 338. There we are. 338, not 328. 338. Okay. Right. Okay. I have a feeling there's more bad shit going to happen, but right. So it's a combat situation. My current combat skill is with collective bonuses is 30 with that Psi Surge. It's 18 plus 2 for the shield, plus 10 for the Summerland. Oh, so it's 28. Is that right? No, it's 30 plus 2 for the shield, plus 10 for the Summersword. 30, right? If I just use the broadsword, but 22. Okay, and with a bow, 24. But I now have bowmanship as well, in addition to my magic. Oh no, I lost my magical silver bow of Duodon. I think I just got that back. Plus 6. Okay. All right, we're not on the bow situation. Let's roll the dice then, shall we? Let's roll the dice. Here we go. First round of it's a 7. Now he has endurance of combat skill of 19. I have combat skill of 30. It's a plus 11 on the chart. That's the highest chart. On a 7, he's taken 18 points of damage, so he's down a half. I have taken nothing. Roll again. 4. He has taken 12 points of damage, so that's 20. That's 30 in total. He is dead. I took 2. And don't forget that I will heal up these points every section of the game that I move through where I don't have combat. My endurance is currently at 33. Its top end is 35. So good to see people in the chat having a little conversation there. Chat away, I say. So 338. We have won the combat. Your killing blow knocks the ghoul out of the hollow and sends it tumbling into the lake. More of the corpse-like creatures can be seen creeping along the shore. The sound of their snuffling whispers and curses make your blood run cold. Okay. If you have a bow and wish to use it, turn to 22. If you choose to evade the ghouls by leaving the hollow and climbing the steps, turn to 104. If you decide to draw a hand weapon and prepare to fight, sod this, I'm out of here. Up the steps, I say. 104. 104 all the way. Don't think anyone in chat's going to disagree with me on that one. We've just done a hand-to-hand combat. Well, we've done a sword combat. So as you step from the hollow, a weight drops onto your back and drags you to your knees. Long, sharp tip fingers, as hard as steel, clamp round your throat. My God, it's another ghoul. You twist and roll, hoping to break free from the undead's grip, but its hold is unnaturally strong. If you possess the Summersword, you may double all endurance points sustained by this undead creature. Oh, I would have killed it in the first blow then, last time. Okay, this guy's got a combat skill of 18, endurance of 29, so I'm in a very good position to take him out. Let's see what happens. If I roll 7 or above, he's probably dead. It's a 9. He's dead. I can tell you now that is no damage to me. It is... Oh, it's a KIA. Anyway, he's dead. If you win and the fight lasts 3 rounds or less, turn to 228. It did. So let's turn to 228. The speed with which you slay your attacker strikes fear into the grisly hearts. I don't think they've got hearts, have they? Of the other advancing ghouls. Slowly they slink away until their grey forms merge with the shadows at the far side of the lake. You're about to hurry away from the hollow in case they should return with more of their kind when you notice an odd-looking token lying next to the dead ghoul. If you wish to examine the token, turn to 43. If you decide to ignore this valuable item, turn to 175. I think I'm going to take it. 43. Let's have a look. 43. What is it? It is a hexagonal shape made of thin cream-colored metal, which is engraved with the number 6. You are not a number. You're a real man or whatever. Make a note of this number in your margin action chart. Okay. Special items. I'm pretty packed out on the special items. I've got to drop something. I'm going to get rid of the invitation to stay at Chinralathos because I've already used that. In fact, I think that might have even been taken off me. So delete that. So it's a hexagonal shaped thing with number 6 on it. Hex with number 6 engraved. My father's dad was an engraver, by the way. One of the searching for his family right now. Turner 175. Okay, here we go. 175. 175. Here we are. The climb to the arch at the top of the stairs. Oh, there's a picture. Going on. The climb to the arch at the top of the stairs is slow and a laborious one. Every step is as tall as a young tree, and the smooth black stone offers few handholds. Several hours slip by before you reach the summit. That is a big staircase. Fatigued by the long climb, but elated to have reached the summit, you stare down through the great archway at a stupendous sight. The streets and buildings of an ancient civilization, that's the picture I just showed you, lie before you, disappearing into the gloom of a titanic chasm of immeasurable size. Ziggurats and towers, their carved walls cracking and crumbling, lean at impossible angles, having sunk into the soil over centuries. This is Ziggurats, the legendary metropolis is how you say that word. That was once home to a species fathered by Naxator, the greatest of all ancient dragons. Okay, I bet he's around here somewhere. He's going to pop up at some point, I'm sure. It is the only city to have survived more or less undamaged the age of chaos that followed the demise of their species. A wide avenue from the archway to enter the city at a place flanked by 2 massive statues of dragons. They're squat and on their haunches. You must eat another meal or lose 3 endurance points. I have 1 meal left, so I'm going to eat it. Meals times 0. You're about to set off into the city when you catch a glimpse of a shadowy figure moving furtively among the ruins on an edifice to your left. If you could have completed the law circle of the spirit, turn to 281. I'm not sure if I have. Let's have a quick look. I've got 1 law circle. Actually, I'll put all that on my character sheet. So, Circle of Light. I have not completed Circle of Spirit. If you have yet to complete this law circle, you may investigate the fleeting shadow, or you can choose to ignore it and continue along the avenue. So, there are 5 people watching. What do you think I should do? Investigate the fleeting shadow, or continue along my way like I've seen nothing at all whatsoever to report? Chat, give me a suggestion. Can always depend on David Macy to go with the investigate option. I have to admit, it does seem like, one should always investigate with where these books are concerned, because you might miss out on a trinket or a piece of information. Does seem like investigate is the right call. Let's put the map back up for a second. So for any people watching, my sleep patterns have been terrible right now. So forgive me if I sound a bit tired, because that's one of the reasons I haven't done a lot of streams, is because I've been so knackered. Okay, so we're investigating this shadow. 122. All right. Fearfully, you approach the shadow until you can discern its gruesome features. It is a ghoul, similar to those you encountered earlier, but this creature looks more human. Its swollen skull is lopsided. Black tongue that hangs from its jagged mouth. Oh, Hold on, guys. I've got to stop something from turning off. Let me mute myself for a second because I've got to watch the rest of this movie after this stream here. Yeah, I'm doing a stream on the Thin Red Line tomorrow, and I'm reviewing it. So I've got it on, but I paused it to do this. Okay, so it raises a wasted hand, and a chilling cone of mist comes whirling towards your chest. If you possess the Magnified discipline of Size Screen, I think I do. I think I had that pretty early on. Do I have Size Screen? Let's have a look. Size Screen. No, I've got Mind Shield and Size Surge. I don't have Size Screen. Okay. If you do not possess this skill, turn to 191. Well, I hope that doesn't say your journey ends here. That would suck. Okay, 191. Let's check it out. You try to dodge aside, but the mist whirls around you like a snake, and intense heat burns your body. And your mind is filled with terrifying images of the supernatural. Lose 6 endurance points. Now, by the way, I'll be back up to maximum now because I heal as I go along. So that would take me from 35 to 29. Okay, so on 29. Cycle, combat skill 20, endurance 30. The creature is immune to Mind Blast, but not Size Surge. I do have Size Surge. Due to the power of its psychic attack, you must reduce your combat skill by 4 points for the duration of the fight. If you possess the Summer Sword, you may double this undead creature's endurance point losses. I do. Okay, so my combat skill is reduced by 4. So my combat skill is currently 30, reduced to 26. So I'm on the +6 table. However, I'm going to use Size Surge in the first round of combat, which, if I remember rightly, I have to deduct a couple of endurance off. Let's just double check this. Size Surge. Adds 2 points to your combat skill, so I'm on +8. Oh, no, sorry. It adds +4. Can be used without losing any endurance, or if you use it to its max effect, you lose 2 endurance points. Okay, right. So I've just lost 6, which has taken me down to 29. I'm going to lose another 2 because I'm using Size Surge, which is down to 27. But I'm taking my combat skill up to... I'm covering the 4 I've been knocked down, so I'm back up to 30. So I'm rolling on the +10 chart. Okay. All right. So let's see what we're doing on that. Here we go. Die roll D10. We want to go high. What we getting? What we getting? What we getting? That was a 3. It got covered up there, but that was a 3 or a 5. Player 3, 5. I don't know what that means. Let's re-roll. 4. Okay. So we got a 4. So 4 on the +10 chart is he loses 11. I lose 2. So I'm down to 25. He is down to 19. Okay. Problem is, Lance makes this look easy. I don't know that I do. Oh yeah, Desert Phoenix, by the way, has done me a very nice character sheet. I haven't quite figured out how to write shit in it and then amend it. I tried, kind of didn't. Anyway, I've got to do a call with him to sort that out. So, but I do appreciate it. Thank you very much. I think I'll use it on the next book. So Right, he's lost 11, so he's down to 19. Okay, we're going on another die roll. Let's try and get a KIA here. Now, I'm now down to +6 because I'm not doing Psi Surge. 10 on +6, that sounds good. That sounds very good. 10 on +6 is, he takes 18, I take nothing. He's already taken 11, so he's got 1 endurance point left. Here we go. He's taken 8. He is dead. 8 on +6 is bad. Bad, okay. It's bad. 8 and 10 is like 14 endurance points lost. Okay, no, none to you. Okay. So good for me. He's dead. And I have survived. Turn to 87. Okay, we are going to 87. Let's have a look. 87. 87. At last, the grisly creature surrenders to death and collapses at your feet. Very good. Well, we like that. You sheathe your weapon and kneel over its torn body, drawn by the sight of a ring on a finger with its right hand. It gleams incredibly, as if it were only minutes old, and a deep yellowish stone that is set in the silvery metal glows with an eerie eldritch light. Eldritch, that's like elf magic. It's like a magical ring. There it is. There you go. If you wish to keep this psychic ring, mark it on your action chart. I think I will, but I've got to dump something because I'm packed with stuff. I'm going to get rid of the evil scroll. I don't think why am I carrying an evil scroll? Psychic ring sounds better to me than evil scroll. Psychic ring. Okay, we don't know what it does yet. Psychic ring will allow you to use Mind Blast with half its combat skill bonus rounded up, unless they are immune to Psi Surge also. Okay, fine. Continue to 11. For countless hours, you follow the Great Avenue as it bisects the heart of Zyrax. Once grand buildings that line this ancient thoroughfare are in varying states of decay. Some are almost intact, while others have disintegrated into little more than a pile of rubble. You keep track of time, but it proves difficult in the perpetual half-light. Now, this is a non-combat chapter, as was the last one. So I would have got back 2 endurance points for each of those, which puts me back up to 29. However, twice you stop and eat before you near the center of the city. Erase 2 meals from your action chart or lose 3 endurance for each. Now, I don't think I've got any meals left. No, I've got a Rendell's Elixir, which will heal 6 endurance points. Okay, I'm going to lose those 6, so I'm down to... So I'm pretty hungry right now. And I'm down to 23. Okay. If you possess Hunt Mastery, you are able to forage food from the wasteland of Zyrax, and therefore you do not need to make any deductions. I don't. I've got hunting, but not Hunt Mastery. As you pass through one of the massive arches, you notice a group of reptilian creatures huddled at the top of a staircase. So here we are. There they are. Hang on, let me get that up close. There you go. Okay. They are stroking a large leathery egg and speaking to each other in a low hissing language. If you choose to approach them, decide to call out to them. If you have a bow and you wish to use it. Right, I don't want to use a bow because I don't want to attack them needlessly. Approach them under the cover of the pillars that line the hall. Turn of 56 or decide to call out to them. I think the pillars that line the hall sounds good. Don't know that I've got any other option. The black flagstones are covered with a fine layer of grit that crunches with every step you take. If you have the Magnified discipline of invisibility and have attended the rank of Principalin, turn to 144. I have attended that rank, but I don't have that skill. If you do not have this skill, turn to 349. Okay. This is going to suck, by the way. I'm going to get killed now. 349. 349. Don't let it be your adventure ends here. Hang on, I've not got there yet. Okay. The reptilians hear you and gaze at you with frightened stares. Protectively, they wrap their webbed hands around the leathery egg and slink away down the stairs. You run at the top of the staircase, peer down into the gloom, but you can see nothing in the darkness below. If you have a Kulto, fire spear, lantern, or torch, yes, I do. 33. I don't want to use a fire seed. I've got a couple, but I'm not going to use them. As your light flares into life, you notice an object lying on the steps. It was dropped by one of the reptilians as they made their hasty escape. It is a hexagonal-shaped piece of metal embossed with a numerical design. So I've got one of these with the number 6 on it. If you've seen and examined one of these hexagonal tokens previously, turn to 161. I have. With the experience of what happened the last time you touch one of these strange tokens still fresh in your mind, you avoid picking up this one. However, this does not stop you from looking at the intricate design. The token is engraved with a mathematical equation, and you calculate the answer to mean 320. Okay, I'm going to write that down. 320. That's going to be a number I've got to turn to later, mark my words. Making a note. Yeah, okay. To continue, turn to 130. Right. Cautiously, you descend the staircase, expecting the unexpected, your weapon held ready in case of reptilians launching a surprise attack. Oh, Nerdly UK's here. Use the light switch. Mate, this is fantasy. There are no light switches on the wall. Just going to tell you now. Okay. The glow of the light washes over the black stone staircase. You freeze in your tracks when you notice a poorly concealed trap. Carefully, you step over the loop snare and continue towards the door at the bottom of the stairs. It is unlocked and slightly ajar. If you have a mirror, turn to 327. Do I have a mirror? Let me check in my special items. I do not have a mirror. No. If you choose to push open the door and continue, if you decide to push open the door and then flatten yourself to the floor in case of an ambush, well, of the options available, as much as I may look like a total turd, I'm going to flatten myself for an ambush. 46, there's a picture with this, and there's a combat situation. By the way, I've now gone through another 3 sections with no combat, so that is another 6 endurance restored. That takes me back up to 29. Your caution is well placed. As soon as the door creaks open, a bolt of fiery energy screams over your head and explodes with a tremendous ear-splitting crack against the stairs behind you. It was launched from a tube of glowing crystal, supported on the shoulders by 2 reptilians that are kneeling in the corridor ahead. So basically, 2 reptilian monsters have just attacked me with an anti-tank weapon, I shit you not. Let me show you before we get into the combat, because this is quite amusing. So these guys have just fired a weapon at me. Look at this. It's like a rocket launcher, but it's made of crystal, okay? Very entertaining. Good to see Tomby. He's got a channel of his own. I think I met Tomby at the London meetup. Good to see you, sir. Welcome to the stream. What's that? It's my mic displaying this little poster here. What's going on with that? Don't want that in there, do we? Rather see Thunderbird 3 and eagles and that kind of thing. Right, okay, so their long jaws fall open in shock surprise when they see you rise to your feet and run towards them with a mighty big sword that's going to cleave them in two. These creatures are immune to mind blast. All right, so they got combat skill of 15. So I'm on the top chart. Endurance of 38. Okay, so if I roll high, I'm going to kill these guys pretty quick. If I roll low, that's not so good. Let's see what happens. Okay, so I've rolled a 6. 6 on the top chart means I have done 16 points of damage and taken 1. So they are down 16 off of 38 is down to 22. They're at 22. I've taken 1. I'm down to 28. Let's roll again. We want to roll high. It is an 8. I think that's good news. I believe that's good news. I think that's a KIA. 8 is a KIA, and I've taken no damage. They are DEAD, dead. Turn to 241. Gladly so, sir. 241. Okay. 241, 241. All right. Bit of text here. Give me a second, guys, while I dash to the bathroom real quick. Okay, I'm back. So, you follow the corridor to a curved flight of abalastor stairs and ascend them to a massive chamber. The floor is constructed of steely blue metal flecked with silver, and 100 darkened archways line the walls. Directly ahead stand 2 gigantic doors of sheeted platinum. They are engraved with patterns which are breathtaking in their intricacy. Okay, that's nice. The chamber is deserted, but as you cross the floor and approach the doors, you're acutely aware that any one of the arches could be hiding a legion of reptilians, not just a couple, but a legion. In the center of the door, there is a lock that consists of 4 hexagonal buttons arranged in the shape of a pyramid, with 1 button at the top and 3 buttons in a line below it. Every time you touch a button, a glowing number appears on its surface. Your basic Kai senses inform you that this is a combination lock. If you press each button several times until the correct numbers show on all 4 buttons, the lock will release and the doors will open. Ah, that's why we've been getting all these numbers, isn't it? That's why we've been getting all these numbers. Don't joke about the reptilians, guys. They are coming, by the way. They're coming, man. They're coming pretty soon. If you know the correct number to press for the top button and the correct 3-figure number for the bottom button, 3 buttons, add both numbers together and turn the entry. Well, I've got 6 and 320 at the minute, which would be 326. If you know only one of the 2 correct numbers that you need to open the lock, turn to the entry of that number. If you do not know the correct numbers to press, right, I'm going to try 320 because I got that little token and then I got that other thing. Sorry, 326 I'm going to try. There is a soft whirling as the mechanism of the lock disengages. Aha! And a partridge again. Yet the door does not open. You will need this key. The words sound in your head. You spin around to see a female reptilian. Well, hey, I mean, you know, times are hard. You're in a tunnel, so the leader of her kind. She moves towards you from an archway to your right, and you notice she's holding the rod of Carillium in her webbed hand. This is all sounding more bizarre by the moment. Keith, there are not 6,320 options in the book. I'm just going to tell you that now. Okay. Telepathically, she calls to you. You're unlike the other man things that have dared to enter Zygrax. What is it that you seek? If you choose to tell her why you're here, 256. If you get ready to defend yourself, 256. I'm going to tell her why I'm here. 256. You know, sometimes you gotta trust in shit. I seek the Law Stone of Tahu. I am the Kai Master Lone Wolf, and I quest for the wisdom of Naxator, that I may vanquish the spawn of his enemies and save my people from destruction. Her harsh gaze softens as your proud words fill the chamber and resonant echoes. You feel a BAFTA nomination coming on, but you sense sadness within her when she replies with words of joy that take form in your mind. Your quest must be fulfilled, as it was by your sire many centuries ago. We have waited for a long time coming, Lone Wolf, and we will fulfill our duty to he who gave us life. She opens the great platinum doors and beckons you to follow her, but not be like a big bedchamber behind. I'm not sure I can get down with this reptilian business. Okay. Oh, there's a picture. You follow her along the passages and sloping tunnels, down long flights of stairs, and through magnificent chambers no human eye has ever seen before. Okay. The alien splendor of this ancient city leaves you in awe of the species that once dwelt within these halls. So picture now the music from Lord of the Rings, Fellowship of the Ring, as they enter the dwarf halls of what's it called? The Mines of Moria. Thank you. As you approach, the floor descends into a series of wide steps that encircle the room, and in the middle of the tiers is a shallow pit with a stone dais at its center. As you approach, the dais glows with a crimson light that pulses like a living heart. Shimmering waves of silver radiance sweep the steps, and a chorus of voices. A chorus of voices. It doesn't say what type of voices. Let us see. A chorus of voices, soft and serenic, echo through the upper reaches of the chamber. You surrender yourself to instinct, step upon the dais, cupping with your hands before you, raising your face to the roof. A golden light pours out of the darkness, soaking you in its brilliance and filling your senses with glowing warmth. A gasp of awe arises from the tiers, now crowded with reptilians. They are the Cyrosax, the guardians of the city, the stewards of the Law Stone, who were placed here by the great god Kai. With joy and sorrow, they have gathered to witness the fulfillment of their purpose. For your coming marks the end of their stewardship and the beginning of their demise. I don't know how many of these lizard things I killed. Actually, I don't think I did kill any. It was all ghouls, wasn't it? That's good. High above you, a shadow is taking form at the core of the golden light. It's dark and leathery figure and shaped like an egg. Slowly it breaks and peels open to reveal a sparkling crystal sphere. It is the Law Stone of Tahu, the object of your quest. Turn to 150. Okay, it feels like we're getting near the end, guys. I thought there was like a big strategic battle in this book, but I like a castle siege, I thought, but maybe I'm wrong, or maybe that's still to come. Let's just check on the chat. I would like to thank the Academy. Very good. No joke. Did you all hear about the Mexican Congress government revealing the alien corpse? I did. I saw that. I'm saying this is all part of it, man. Aliens are real. It's coming. Okay, 150. A warm tingling runs through your body as the Law Stone descends into your hands. You have not taken recreational drugs. It is, in fact, the Law Stone. You become charged with new vitality that obliterates your fatigue and restores your endurance to its original status. Well, hey, okay, so we are back to 35. 35. Very good. Okay, currently at 35. Swell of color engulfs your body and you feel yourself fall forward into the throat of a spinning vortex. The chamber dissolves and you start to rise at an ever-increasing speed. It is as if you're falling upwards. A surge of light makes you close your eyes, passes in an instant, and you find yourself staring down at an incredible and terrible sight. 2. 1, 2. You look upon the city of Tahu as if from the balcony of a tall tower, the spire of the Talis Temple, situated at the heart of the Rainbow Park. It is noon, but there's no brightness on this day, for a grey blanket of smoke covers the sky. Below lies a shattered city, its once proud buildings now seething infernos, its streets and squares choked with burning wood and smoking rubble. Hasty defences have been constructed, where the city wall is holed or fallen, and the battlements to the north and east are carpeted with the unburied dead. Beyond the wall and the flats, shrouded in mist that curls like the smoke of 1,000 campfires, its thickness unnatural, you sense at once it's been conjured to hide the enemy. You leave the tower and make your own way through the burning streets towards the West District, to where the fighting at the wall is fiercest. I said I was taking part in a siege. I thought I remembered this. Good to see you, Darth Plato. Thanks for popping in. You leave the tower and make your own way through the burning streets. Oh, yes, I said that bit. You pass the smouldering ruins of the Anarium, take a fire-swept street that leads to the west gate. The building at the end of the street is being used as a shelter for the wounded. The roof has caught fire. A handful of soldiers are desperately trying to evacuate the injured before it collapses. Help these soldiers, continue to the west gate. Those are the two options before me. Help the soldiers or continue to the west gate. Chat, what do you think? Going to give you a couple more seconds to chip in, chat, in case you're going to... my gut feeling is I probably should help the injured. But what do you think? Should I just rush on towards battle? Or what should I do? Let's see. Okay, so soldiers, go north, help. Everyone's saying help. My gut feeling is my gut feeling is let's help out. We've got several votes for help. We've got I'm driving by Desert Phoenix. Help the soldiers, help. Nerdly, go north. I don't want to help anyone. Okay, help the soldiers. Okay, all right, we're gonna help. That was my gut feeling. 342 for that option. 342. Here we are. The first floor is soon set ablaze as the wind whips the roof fire into a raging inferno. Okay, here I am. A soldier, his face and uniform completely black with soot, staggers down the stairs and collapses into your arms. The captain's up there, he croaks, his throat raw from inhaling the scorching air. He went to save his brother just before the roof caught. Doesn't say that in the book, but I thought that'd be fun. Do you have the skill of Nexus? I do not have the skill of Nexus new. If you do not have this skill, okay, right, so 59. We don't have the skill of Nexus. Skill of 59, here we are. You start up the stairs, but the first floor is already engulfed in flames. A gust of wind whips by. You lose 2 endurance points. You're forced down into the street. You're unable to help those caught in the inferno. So with a heavy heart, you have to leave them burning to death. It doesn't say that. 179. We're going to the West Gate after all. So that was kind of pointless, I guess. We didn't have Nexus. No good. Nexus helps you resist cold and heat. I think I might get that as my next enhancement if I survive. You reach the West Gate and climb the body-strewn stairs to the battlements. On this side of the city, the mist is less dense. You can see regiments of Drakim warriors advancing in lines towards the Great Moat. Behind them are trundling huge machines of war designed to fire canisters of boiling oil and red-hot liquid metal over the city wall. Squadrons of cavalry wait in reserve, while siege towers and catapults are hauled forward by lumbering Gurkhas and muscular leathery Zul. Okay, So there's a little picture here. I'm just going to show you that. And there we go. It's very kind of, very kind of Minas Tirith situation. Fortunately not, Keith. The roof didn't fall on me on my journey, didn't it? That could still happen, man. Okay, at the foot of the wall, a unit of Salanese engineers are repairing damage done to a bridge they constructed during the night. They've only one more plank to lay to make the bridge safe to enable a squad of Drakima assault troops reach the west gate. You see a soldier creep to the edge of the bridge and raise a large screen to protect the engineer who is laying the final plank. If you have a bow and wish to use it, I do. Turn to 99. Let's see what we can do here. See if we can take out this guy. The Drakim assault troopers crouch behind their oblong-shaped shields, waiting impatiently for their chance to storm the gate. You draw your arrow, take aim at the engineer's screen. You'll only have a second in which to fire as he puts the final plank in place. If you have the Magna Kai discipline of weapon mastery with the bow, add 3 to the number you have. I do. I've got weapon +3 with the bow. Okay, guys, it's a dice rolling situation. Let's share the screen with the dice. Here we go. All right. We're adding 3 to our number. Let's roll high. It's a 3. It's a 6. If your total is now... Oh, shit. If your total is now 6 or lower, turn to 70. That's not a good result for us, guys. Wait a second, though. I just need to check something because I've got this cool bow. So I've got +3 with the bow skill. And then I've got the bow of... That might be a 9, you know. Silver bow of Duodun. +3. Yeah. So my total with the bow is +6. So actually, it's 7 or higher. Lucky I remembered that. 198. And again, we're going on the basis that all my weapons were returned to me at this stage. Your shaft pierces the engineer's throat. That sounds ruder than I'm sure they intended, sending him toppling into the moat in a panic. The soldier drops his screen and runs back across the bridge towards the Drakim. They view this as an act of cowardice and kill him out of hand as a warning to the Salanese. Your bows have brought the defenders at the west gate some precious time. Turn to 249. Okay, guys. Now, I did say I might do my fighting fantasy book after this, but I think I'll call it after this. 249. Further along the battlements, we've got another battle on our hands here. A group of determined Gayak soldiers have climbed the wall by means of a scaling ladder. Okay, that sounds bad. Okay. This ferocious creature wields a two-handed axe with devastating effect. It cuts a gruesome path through the Inarian defenders and then launches itself at you. Combat skill of 23, endurance of 24. Gorgaz. So this is one of the tall lizard things. It's immune to Mind Blast. Oh, that's fine. I don't mind that. I've got +7 on the combat with it. So we're going to see how we get on. Let's do the first round. 2. That's not so good. +7 on 2 is... 2 on +7 is... I have taken 3 points of damage and it has taken 8. So it is down to 26. I am down to... I think I'll be up to... I'm back to 35, aren't I? That's right. So I'm down to 32. Okay. Second round of combat against the big lizard creature. Ooh, here we go. 5. That's also not that great. It's taken 11, so it's taken 19 in total. I've taken another 2, so I'm down to 30. So it's still there. It's still got 15 points left. So I've got to do another roll. Now I'm just debating if it's worth doing Psi Surge to try and kill it in this round, or should I give it another round of combat? What do people think? I think maybe give it one more round. Yeah, I think maybe one more round. I think another round is probably worth it. No one's saying anything in the chat, so let me do that. Let's do another round. Let's do another round of combat. All right, okay, one more round. One more round. 4. We're rolling low with this guy. I don't know what's up with that. Okay, so he's taken 10 points of damage. So he's got 1 left. I've taken another 2, so I'm down to 28. Don't forget to remind me to heal 2 points for every section I go through in no combat. Okay, next round of combat, I roll a 1. That's even worse. He's dead, but I've taken 4 points of damage, so I'm down to 24. He's dead, but I took a pretty bad beating in that. If I'm in another combat straight away, we could be in a difficult situation. With their leader slain, abruptly the Gaiacs lose their nerve and fall back to the scaling ladder. Okay, let me just pop my camera back on. I forgot I turned it off. You leap forward and help them on their way with a flurry of blows that leave 6 dead at your feet. Several leap from the battlements into the moat rather than stand and meet your deadly counterattack. Within minutes, the wall is cleared of enemy, and a squad of Slovian mercenaries arrives to plug the gap. If you have got the discipline of Hunt Mastery and reached the rank of Prince of Palin, turn to page blah blah. I don't think I've got Hunt Mastery. No, I don't. I've got Animal Control, Curing, Psi Surge, Pathmanship. I don't have that, and I've completed Circle of Light. If you don't have it, turn to 168. Okay, this is going to be bad. Okay, let's have a look. 168. I'm determined to finish this book today, even though I'm pretty tired. An open wagon drawn by a team of battle-scarred horses hurtles along the street that borders the city wall. Standing beside the driver is a captain of the Senate Guard. His thick black hair billows out behind him like the wings of a falcon as he desperately calls, "Reinforcements for the North Gate!" If you choose to answer his call by leaping onto the wagon, yeah, let's do it. That sounds like a scene in a movie. I'm all about those. I leap onto the wagon. The wagon races along the rubble-strewn street towards the tower. One of the many that reinforce the city. Standing at the top of the tower is your companion, Bannerton. You ask for the captain to stop and let you speak to your old friend, but he refuses to slow down. "I must reach the North Gate without delay," he bellows. "If you have the Magna Carta discipline of deviation," I do. Turn to 272. Or you can choose to jump off the speeding wagon, or you can stay aboard the wagon and come. Well, I'll see what happens with the skill. 272. You have a strong premonition that death will befall you if you decide to stay on board the wagon. If you choose to take heed of your Kai sense and leap from the speeding wagon, yeah, I think I will then. 230. Okay, now if I don't and I stay on board, it's 340. I think it'd be fun to read out what that is. So I'm taking heed of my Kai Jedi stuff, and I'm going to 230. But let's see what 340 would have said. 340, staying on board the wagon. Yeah, here we go. The wagon descends a steep hill running parallel to a section of city that is under bombardment from enemy catapults. As you near the bottom of the hill, a huge stone ball drops from the sky and slams into the wagon, killing its 2 horses, the captain, and you. Swiftly, your life ends here. Right, well, I didn't choose that option. I decided to, listen to my Kai senses. You search the road ahead for somewhere soft to land, but the area is strewn with sharp boulders. I'm in a city. How many sharp boulders can there be? If you have the discipline of Hunt Mastery, add 3 to the die roll. Okay, so I've got to do a die roll, guys. Might as well keep that screen there. Here we go. Roll high. 10. I like it. If you roll 7 or higher, turn to 297, which I did. 297. So look, what's going on? What's going on? You dive and roll twice, suffering nothing more than a grazed shoulder and a bruised knee. Lose 1 endurance point. Turn to 131. Now, I've not been in combat for about 3 rounds there. So I would get 6 back, -1 for the stuff that's just happened. So I get 5 back. The iron door to the tower is unlocked and you enter unopposed. Okay, hang on. Is this a combat situation? It's not. So 8 back -1 is 7. So I think my endurance is back up to 31. Okay. By the gods, exclaims Benedon when you appear. My prayers have been answered. You're alive, Lone Wolf. You're alive. Tears of joy fill his eyes as he welcomes your return warmly. It's very nice of him, I must say. He and his mentor, Chiban, have been viewing the siege from the vantage point for the last 3 days. From this position, they control the movement of the few reserves allocated to the north and west city walls, using them to fill in gaps where the enemy attacks have weakened the defences. Bannerton recounts how the siege has progressed. I'm very pleased that he has this sort of leisurely time in which to explain the battle to me as it's all chaotically unfolding around us. That's very funny. Attacks from the air have set the city ablaze, but the enemy has lost a great number of flying Kran, and they now dare not use the few remaining. The Inarium was destroyed in the first few hours of the siege. Many senators lost their lives, including Senator Chill and President Toltuta. He then asks you for your quest and is overjoyed to hear its success. The gods smile on you, Lone Wolf. So long as you live, there's hope for us all. Now, I don't believe that Senator Chill is dead. I think he got out because he's clearly a traitor and needs to be killed. 258. Oh, my God. This is a huge piece of text. I'll do my best. I better sip some more water. Relentlessly, the enemy pours fire upon the north and west city walls until the black sky above Tahu takes on a vivid scarlet glow. The defenders look to their weapons uneasily and pray the gods be with them, at least until dawn. When the first rays of dawn show above the eastern hills, no mists enshroud the armies of the Dark Lord Nag. They are amassed in all their glory. You cast your eye across the sea of doom and mark the flags of the many regiments of evil that are ranged against the walls of Tahu. As you descend the tower steps to help the defenders, you observe the initial movements of enemy troops. The armoured legions of Vasagonia are the first to advance, moving in ordered columns towards the west gate. At their head walks a figure sheathed in gold. All around his body there is cold blue fires which glow intensely. He strides within range of the city archers. They send a cloud of arrows to greet him, but these shatter when they encounter his impregnable glowing shield. He crosses the siege bridge and halts before the west gate. Is this guy a bit showy or what? What's going on here? In his hand is an orb of black metal. He holds it before him and mouths an incantation. Instantly a bolt of scarlet flame lances from the orb and destroys the doors with a thunderous boom. Proudly he strides into the city and the defenders melt before him. One brave soldier summons enough courage to attack him with a spear. There is a cracking flash and in an instant the man is transformed into a pile of glowing cinders. Okay, there's a picture here, guys. And guess what? I'm going to show it to you. It's a pretty unusual piece of artwork. There's the man attempting to attack with the spear there, getting frazzled. Okay, so some sort of like glowing king. He advances unchecked, undaunted by all attacks, for no one can penetrate his magical shield. I have come for you, Lone Wolf, he says with a cruel smile on his lips. You gaze into the ice-cold eyes of Zakan Kiman, ruler of Vasagonia, and see nothing but an inky void. As he raises his orb black metal, you steel your nerves for the combat that's about to commence. If you possess the Summer Sword, I do. Again, on the basis that my items were returned to me before I went on the quest. You know the story. Okay, so A bolt of scarlet fire surges from the orb and comes speeding towards your head. Now, this is the first combat chapter. I've had 2 more, so I'm back up to 35 on my endurance. You counter the attack, catching you off balance. Searing pain tears into your arms, and the bolt explodes in the street behind you. You lose 5 endurance points, down to 30. Turn to 128. Okay, motherfucker, we're gonna take you out. That was Falcor, by the way, that I said. It's a unique swear word. So YouTube, you can't cancel the monetization of the stream. Mother Falcor, here we go. Jesus, this guy's got combat skill of 37. And even with the summer sword, I've got skill of 30. +2 for my shield. 30. If I use Psy Surge, I can take it up to 34. Ooh, that's pretty, yeah. So he's got combat skill of 37 and endurance of 46. Get out the magical ring. Unfortunately, that's not an option. And by the way, guys, if you win this combat, turn to 350. So 350 is the end of the book. So this is the big fight. I thought the magical ring might be of some use. It enables me to use Mind Blast without the doodah. Oh, the Zakan is immune to Mind Blast and Psy Surge. The Orb of Death. Okay, so I'm fighting at -7 for this entire combat. Makes him immune to fire seeds. Bloody hell. Okay, well, guys, we've got to roll high here, or my adventure ends here. So we've got to roll high. So, okay, people, use your psychic abilities. We want a 10 on the first. It is all down to the roll of the dice. Yeah, he's the end level boss for sure, guys. Okay, so he's got endurance of 46. I'm going to call out the damage to him as I do it. And I want you guys to help me out with the deductions here. Okay, so I'm rolling on the lowest chart, I think. No, I'm not rolling on the lowest chart. I'm rolling. He's got combat skill of 37. I've got combat skill of 30. Have I got anything else? Let me just check if there's anything I can use. He's immune to Psy Surge, so I can't use that. So +10 for my summer sword. My ability is combat skills 18. I get +2 for the shield, 20, 30. I'm not using my bow. Yeah, I haven't got the Vashna dagger. I've got things that add to my endurance, but there's nothing else. Vial of blue pills. So could I take a Viagra before I get into this combat? See what it does. Hey, Abe, good to see you, buddy. I'm on the final section of this. I'm about to go into combat. The sparkly mace, no, David, I sold that. I gave that up. I don't have that. And anyway, that's not as good as the summer sword. So, okay, guys. Well, this is it. We're not on the worst chart, but even if we roll a 10, right? If we roll a 10, he takes 8 damage and we take nothing. If we roll a 1, he takes nothing and I take 8. So this is going to be close. So, okay, he has got 46 endurance. Let's do this, says David. Let's do it. Drum roll, please. All right, first die roll, guys. Here we go. Got to roll high. 7. I'll take it. Okay, so his endurance. So, David, if you could keep track of his endurance, 46. I think that takes him down to 39. So if you could write 39 into the chat for me, please. I have lost 7. Oh, hang on. Oh, sorry. No, I rolled a 7. he's taken 5 points of damage. So he's down to 41. Sorry, he's down to 41. My apologies, I got that wrong. So I have lost 4. So I'm down to 31. Okay. Oh no, I already took that bolt of damage. Now, hang on. Before the combat, I think I can. Before I go into the combat, I believe I can take my elixir thing before I charge into combat with him, because we're not into combat immediately. So after that blue ring thing, the blue lightning bolt thing, but before I go into the combat, which is the next number, this is a bit of a backtrack, but I think I'm allowed. I'm going to take my Rendil's elixir, which heals my endurance by 6 points. So that's gone. So that puts me back up to 35. So he has just done 4 points of damage to me. So I'm on 31. Okay, and he's on 41. Not good. Not good. We need a couple. We're going to need to roll a couple of 10s, guys, here in a row. I feel like I haven't picked up something that's supposed to help me with this battle. But okay, let's see what happens. Second round of combat. That is that a 1? That looks like a 10 to me. I can't see what that says. Okay, I accidentally re-rolled that. That doesn't count. Okay, all right. That was a fluff. We're going to have to re-roll that. I didn't see what that was. I don't. The weird thing about this die rolling app is it keeps rolling the die behind this little screen that comes up, which is very annoying. Okay, all right. That's a 1, and I think the previous one was a 1, so that's fair enough. So second round of combat. Jesus, I do no damage, and I take 8. So I'm down to 22, and he is still at 41. Guys, this is bad. This is very bad. Okay, I do have 2 lamp spur, but I don't think you can't really use. Oh, right. I'm going to take my potion of Aletha +2 combat for 1 battle. Let's take it. All right, I'm having that. I'm having that now. +2 combat. All right, so we're on a +2, so that takes us to a different chart. So, different chart. Okay, that means I'm backtracking. I'm backtracking a bit, but I'm trying desperately not to die. That means I'm at 24 endurance. He's still on the same because 1 would have been 0 damage, but I'm now on the 6-5 chart. On the original die roll, we won't go back that far. That's just reaching for straws, isn't it? Okay, he is still at 41. I'm at 24. Here we go. We've got to roll high, guys. We've got to roll high. Fuck's sake, 2. Just like, Okay, he's taken 1 point of damage, David. He's down. He's on 40. I am on 18. I'm gonna die. This is bad. Is there anything else I can do? Let me have a look. What else have I got? What else have I got on my character sheet here? Violet blue pills. Again, I don't think Ganem sap. I've got some poison, but don't think that helps me. No. Okay. All right. Well, we're. Oh, hang on. I've got to play a bit more of the thin red line. Hold on. And pause. Okay, I'm going to watch that as soon as I finish this because I'm doing a stream tomorrow with Matthew Holmes, film director. We're doing a in-depth discussion and retro review on the Thin Red Line and Saving Private Ryan tomorrow at 9 o'clock UK time. Probably last for a couple of hours. Okay, so I am going to roll again. I need to roll high, otherwise it's going to be all over. 9. That's better. Good stuff. On the chart, I've taken no damage. David, he's taken 8, so he's down to 32. If I can get a couple more high rolls like that, then we're going to be, that's going to be good. So David, he's on 32. Okay, here we go. 4th round of combat. Fuck off. A 1 again. No damage to him, 6 to me. Jesus Christ. So I'm down to 12. And he's still at 32, guys. 32. Okay, come on. We need a 10. We need a 9 or a 10. We need a 9 or a 10. Here we go. Here we go. 8. I'll take it. I'll take it. He's taken 7 points of damage, David. He's taken 7 points of damage. Okay. All right. Here we go. So he's down to 25 now, right? 25. We need a 9 or a 10 again. We need a 9 or a 10. Here we go. Okay, my character is very badly injured. He has taken no further damage. It could all be over on this die roll. This is bad, man. I can't believe I've played 3 parts of this. 7. Okay, that's good. That's good. That's good. He's taken 6 points of damage. I am still alive. Just. Okay, now I just need to check a rule thing, because if I can do it, I'm going to take some potions to take my endurance back up a little bit before I continue the combat. I don't know that I can take them, but I'm going to check the rules. Checking the rule. I'm desperate here, so hold on. Rules for combat. Evasion of combat during your adventure. No, I can't do that. Okay. Because we're on the last thing here. All right, wait. Let's look at. Here we go. These will restore 4 endurance points to your total when swallowed after combat. If you discover any potions during the eventual potion, they cannot be drunk during combat. Damn it! If not carried in a herb pouch. They cannot be drunk during combat if not carried in a herb pouch. See play option 3 for the magnified discipline of curing in this regard. Well, I do have curing as well as healing. So let me just check this, because I do have a herb pouch and they are in a herb pouch. So, so look at curing. Okay. Because if there's any way of me healing while I'm fighting, I might have a chance. I think I'm going to die, but. Curing play option 3. Readers who have curing are allowed to pick the option special items herb pouch. At the beginning of the adventure, I have that. In combat, thanks to your herb pouch, marking your vials easily reachable, you may choose to drink a potion instead of attacking during a given round. Calculate the combat for that round in the usual manner. You are not considered unarmed. If you started the fight using a weapon, I wish I'd known this earlier, all the points lost by the enemy as a result of that round are ignored, and you drink your potion. Only you can lose endurance points this round, but you can still drink your potion before the combat. Okay, right. So I'm hi Abe. No, thank you for that. I have only found, I've got information on my father's fiance, his first fiance before my mother. She has passed away, and I am in touch via a third party with her niece and her husband. So, right, okay, guys. So my endurance is currently 3. I'm going to take a thing to take it up to 7. I'm going to roll a combat round. Now, I don't do any damage this round, but I still take damage. 7. Okay. So, so that means he's taken no damage. And I have taken, Jesus Christ, I'm back down to 4. 3. Okay, this next round of combat, I have to risk it. I've got to fight him. I might do another potion. I've got one left, but let's see. That is a 4. That's not good. He's taken 5 points of damage, David. I've taken 3. I'm down to 1. I'm gonna have to take my other potion. This round. I'm gonna have to risk it. So taking the potion. That's a 2. I've gone back up to 5. On 2. No, I've taken 6. I am dead. I have died. God damn. Shit. So what do I do for my next Lone Wolf stream? Do I restart the book at the very beginning? Maybe I guess I have to do that. I don't know. Oh man, that's the first time I've, like, in my opinion, I got kind of caught in a death vortex in the Lone Wolf series before, where really you couldn't get out of it. You were going to die whatever happened. What is going on with my hair? But this is the first time I have died in combat, guys. Right at the end. No, restart the battle, says Desert Phoenix. Restart the battle. I could restart the battle, I guess. Okay, let's restart the battle with all the things I had at the beginning. So I used the potion of elixir. I'll play it one more time, which put my endurance to 35. Now, what I forgot to do on the very first round was take the potion that increases my combat ratio by 2, because I didn't have that for the first 2 rounds. So that means that I'm in a different chart to the one I started with. I'm just going to check to see if there's... And then we have the option of doing the 2 lamps per potions as a heal during the battle, but doing no damage. So I've got that as an option. I'm sure this psychic ring was that just enabled me to do some Mind Blast stuff. I can't use Mind Blast. He's immune to that. Now, my original endurance rating is I get +2 for Power Stone, +4 for... I just want to check these are all correct, because it does seem like a bit of a hard battle. I get +4 for Waistcoat, +2 for Helmet, +2 for Power Stone, +4 for Circle of Lights. That's a total of +12 on top of 23 would be 35. That does sound correct, actually. Yeah. All right. Keithy, the first one was just a dream. Yeah, it's all cool. Restart the battle. Yeah. Man, I wanted to get through this whole series without dying, because I didn't consider the other time I died a fair death, but this one, okay. Well, now, to be fair, I didn't use everything in the right order at the beginning. I didn't know that I could use those lamps for potions in the way. I just found out that rule later. Bad for me for doing that. So, okay. So let's see what happens. All right, guys. Round 1 of the combat. So, David, we are back to his endurance, original endurance, which, oh my God, I've lost the page now where I was. Well, we know if we win, we go to 350. So, and in other words, we end the book. What was his original good practice run? Yes, exactly. That's exactly what it was. It was a practice. Didn't count. I was just pretending. What was his original endurance? Was it 46? 46? That sounds about right. So look. Yeah, I wrote it. 46, that's right. And mine is 35. Okay, here we go. Combat from the beginning. Doing it again. Doing it again with the knowledge of all the things we can use. So I will admit that we did kind of screw up there before. So we're in the -5 combat table, but we do still need to roll high. If we don't win this time, then I'm going to call it a night for now. Okay. Fuck me. On the first round of combat, re-roll a 1 again. A 1. So no damage to the enemy. I take 6 right off the bat. So I'm down to 29 already. Can't afford too many more of those. Okay, here we go. Second round of combat. I can't see that. What's a 7? Okay, 7. Good. So a 7 is... He takes 5 points of damage, David. Okay. I'm not going to tell you guys what mine is on. I'm going to leave you in suspense. Right, okay. Third round of combat. 6. That's not bad. I mean, it's not good, but it's not great. He takes 5 points of damage. Down to 21. Now, do I take a potion at this point? I've got 2 potions, but then I don't do any damage. I have a feeling I'm going to roll high on this next one, so I'm going to hold off on this one. Ah, that was the right call. I got a 9. He has taken, David, 7 points of damage. 7. That's a good result. Sorry, he's taken 8 points of damage. 8 points of damage. So I think, David, he's down to 35. And I've taken nothing. That's good. Now, on this next one, I think I'm going to take a potion. So roll. I've taken, it's a 4. Okay, so he took no damage. I took some damage as well as taking a potion. So I managed to up my damage by 1 as opposed to 4. Right. Okay, so one of my potions is gone. Right, so we're next round of combat. No potion. Here we go. That was going to be a 9. Screw you. David, he has taken 2 points of damage. Damn, man. It's getting low for me again. Once I drop under 10, I'm going to have to take that second potion. Here we go again. Next round. 6. He has taken 5 points of damage. Okay. I feel like I should maybe roll the... take the potion now. I'm going to take the potion. 6. Okay. That was a good shout. He's taken 5 points of damage, and I've taken nothing as a result of taking my second potion. But I'm now out of toys. I'm out of tricks. It's all down to the roll of the dice, and he's on 21. He's still got more endurance than me. I need 2 rolls above 9 in the next 3 rolls to really to pull this off. Fuck off. He's taken no damage. I've taken 6. Okay, guys, this second round of combat's not going too well. Here we go again. 9. That's better. Okay, he's taken 8, and I've taken nothing. All right, if I can get another one of those, we could be in business. So, David, he's taken 8. I've taken nothing. So does that take him down to 8? I'm hoping that's the case. Yes, good. All right. Well, now we're nearly even because my endurance is currently 7. Throw an acorn in his throat and water till it grows and explodes out of his throat. Yeah, I feel like that may not be possible at this time. Okay, guys, this is the really important die roll right now. Here we go. 8 or above is good for me. 3. He has taken 2 points of damage. Right, it could all be over after this one. Again, I need a 9 or above. A 9 or above on this one. 9! He has taken 8 points of damage. I've taken nothing. I've got 2 endurance left. He has died. Oh my God, that was so close. Just as well, that first one was just a test, eh? For all you kids watching, don't try this at home. Okay, so at the very moment of his death, the shimmering web of energy that encases the Sarkhan's body flares up with a scarlet brilliance, so intense that you're forced to avert your eyes. For fear of it blinding you, the light surges and then fades, leaving behind a mound of glowing fragments that crumble and dissolve noisily until all that remains of the Sakan and the Orb of Death is a dark stain on the earth where they fell. Spurred on by your triumph and knowing that the first battle that you took part in was only a test, the Inarian defenders rally themselves and counterattack to secure the west gate. The Basagonians who gained entry are either killed or forced back into the moat, and the gate is quickly retaken. A cheer surrounds from the city wall. Huzzah! A cheer that becomes a chant. Huzzah, huzzah, huzzah! Carrying the words of the Kamar's demise to the enemy beyond the moat. The Kamar has died! Gradually, the advancing legions slow to a halt as their hope of an uneasy victory dies with them. Officers ride to and fro, cursing and threatening their men with all manner of punishments, but their morale is severely shaken. The ranks of armoured warriors merely stand in shocked silence and refuse to advance. The sound of distant trumpets is heard, and all eyes turn to the south to see wave upon wave of mountain warriors emerging from the hill around Varta. This is like that scene from Game of Thrones last season, I believe. They pour forth from every valley and pass to fill the southern flats with regiments of cavalry, resplendent in uniforms of blue, white, and grey. Our prayers have been answered, says Jaban, as he and Baindon rejoin you at the city wall. Behold, the allies of Inari have come to aid us in our darkest hour. He points to the advancing cavalry, and you recognize, fluttering from their lances, the battle standards of three nations, Fialond, Lorden, and Kukush. I love the sound of that one. Kukush. I've definitely got to go to Kukush. Then the thunder of their horses, hooves and air fill, and a wave of joy surges through you as you witness their first charge devastate the enemy's ranks. Shields will be broken, etc., etc., throwing them into chaos and confusion. A great battle ensues as the enemy slowly gather themselves to resist this unexpected assault. Yet by noon, two of their armies have been smashed and routed, and the third fights a desperate retreat rearguard action as it struggles to cover the chaotic retreat westward. At last, the fighting around the city comes to an end, and the defenders give voice of elation to their home that has been saved from the hordes of the Dark Lord Nag. Senator Zalaris proclaims you as the savior of Tahu, and the victorious cheers of the citizen echo through the burning streets across the flats that lie strewn with enemy dead. If any of your weapons or weapon-like special items were confiscated by the Southgate Guard, they are now gratefully returned to you. Oh, yes, well, we might need to talk about that later. Erase the X's from your action chart. I feel that I already was entitled to have them returned to me when I had the blessing of the council, who, by the way, control the city guard and sent me on my quest to go and get the law stone in the, I feel like I got them back then. Just going to say that again. You gaze upon the grim panorama and your blood runs cold. It is not the sight of carnage that grips you with fright, rather it is your growing awareness of the powerful evil that is taking shape above the west gate. A billowing black cloud forms in the sky. Out of this cloud there comes a harsh and terrible voice. I will be avenged! It booms, its resonance shaking battlements upon which you stand. You steel yourself, half expecting a bolt of lightning to leap from the crowd and hurtle towards you, but no such attack materializes. Acorn would have worked, mate. Acorn would have worked. I don't think it would. It wasn't in there. It wasn't in the options. Know this. You will pay for your defiance with your life, lone wolf. I, Narg of Morsgar, have 3 remaining law stones that you seek, and I shall destroy them when I destroy you, Kai, whelp. A gust of wind catches the cloud and it clears swiftly, but it leaves behind a numbing dread that fears your heart. Yeah. For you sense that the words were no idle threats. The terrible voice of Dark Lord Nag spoke the truth. Your quest has succeeded, for the wisdom and strength of the law stone of Tahu is now an integral part of your body, and the spirit and your defeat of Zakan Kimar has turned the tide of war decisively against the armies of Dark Lord Nag. However, the shocking news that Nag now possesses the remaining law stones of Nexter heralds the start of a new and deadly episode of your Magna Kai quest. If you have the courage of a true Kai master, The challenge of recovering the last of the Law Stones from the clutches of the immortal enemy awaits you. Beginning in Book 10 of Lone Wolf, entitled The Dungeons of Torgar. Okay, well, I thought there was a siege that I was going to contribute. Cauldron of Fear. That's definitely one of my favourite books of the Lone Wolf franchise. Anyone watching who doesn't know what I've been doing, these are choose your own adventure books. They first came out in the 80s. I have been playing the new editions. They've been updated a little bit, a few fixes here and there. Nice artwork. This is the original book of the Cauldron of Fear. Here's your sort of battle for the town going on. And then here we have the new edition, which has got the, I don't know who this is supposed to be, this guy on the front here, because I don't remember fighting a Balrog type creature in this particular adventure. Lone Wolf Lance has once more triumphant. I think I've got a picture of Lone Wolf Lance. Let's have a quick look at that for you. I think I've got, yeah, here he is. Let me duck out for a second and you can check him out. Hold on. Unfortunately, for whatever reason, it appears that my chin, my most prominent feature, remains in the photograph, yet the rest of me has been cut off. I guess that's just the way it does it on here. Now, I am back tomorrow night with a fantastic stream with my good buddy from Down Under, Matthew Holmes, who's a very dear friend of mine. Almost brother-like, I would say. And Lance Wolf, yeah. He will be on discussing with me tomorrow 2 fantastic movies. If you haven't already seen what we're going to be talking about tomorrow, well, I'm watching one of these movies again for the first time in 5 years. The other one I actually saw pretty recently. So I don't need to do a rewatch, and I've also watched it multiple more times than I've seen the second film we're going to be talking about. But we're going to be talking about both of these movies in a kind of compare and contrast. They both went into pre-production around the same time. Saving Private Ryan came out first, and the Thin Red Line, which took a lot longer to shoot, came out second. My late friend Alan Tompkins worked on the set design. In fact, he pretty much designed the set for Saving Private Ryan, and I was fortunate enough to interview him. His interview is under the industry interviews folder on this very channel. You can go and check it out. I don't know anyone who worked on, no, I tell a lie. Another friend of mine, Donald Logue, had a small part in Thin Red Line. I'm going to see if I can get hold of him and see if he's got any stories to tell me. So we're going to be doing that tomorrow night, 9 o'clock UK time. That's 4 p.m. Eastern, 1 p.m. West Coast. And we're going to be comparing and contrasting these 2 wonderful movies. I'm going to have also France's #1 film critic, the uninspired reviewer, the man from the south coastal luxurious hot shores of France, will be joining me, as well as Matthew. So there'll be 3 of us on tomorrow. Should be good fun. If you've got your own comments to make about Thin Red Line and Saving Private Ryan, I have to admit that I'm getting a lot more out of Thin Red Line on this occasion. And I'm really picking up on a lot of things I haven't noticed before. I've watched it several times. This is probably the 5th or 6th time I've watched it. Saving Private Ryan, I've seen like 30, 40 times. I saw it 3 times at the cinema. Thin Red Line, I saw once at the cinema, and I've watched it 2 or 3 times since. Yeah, I'm picking up on some interesting things. So got a couple of other industry interviews lined up already. We've got one of the main makeup special effects guys from the last 2 seasons of Babylon 5 coming on the channel, Jeff Farley. He also worked on the Babylon 5 pilot. He also worked on Demolition Man. The man has got about 150 makeup credits on IMDb. He's got about 120 special effects credits, and his skill set is very broad. He's going to show us a few of his toys when we do the stream. So David Macy. Now it's funny that you should suggest this, because actually Matt and I have already had a conversation about doing the Musketeers films, and I'm interested in exploring that. Actually, I just watched the latest one, the French one, with Vincent Cassel in it. I wasn't massively impressed. It was okay. It was all right, but I wasn't like blown away by it. Lots of single takes with cameras zooming everywhere, which is a big thing. And it's funny, when I was going to do my movie about 7 years ago, I had this long single take in mind. I'm not sure I'm going to do that now, but because everybody would just say, oh, it's another one of those. Anyway, so join us tomorrow, 9 o'clock. That's it from me for tonight. Thanks for joining in, Lone Wolf, watching me get killed, nearly getting killed twice. I just made it on the, I mean, okay, to be fair, if you look at it like I did it properly the second time round, because I checked everything that I had and employed everything I had from the get-go, rather than kind of, hang on, have I got something else? So anyway, but so I guess the second one was technically it was the fairest. All right, guys, that's it from me. Thanks to my regulars for popping in. Thanks to some of the new guys for popping in. Good to see you, RK. Good to see you, Abe. Always a pleasure, Desert Phoenix. Always a pleasure, Nerdly. And of course, David Macy and Keith have been in the whole thing. Do check out my stream about my dad's journey across the Sahara. I did a live stream on it a couple of nights ago. You may well find that interesting. Lots of really interesting photos. And I've had a little bit of news on there. I have traced my father's former fiance. Sadly, she died in 2004. Her name was Ingrid Petra Hecky, but I'm about to be put in touch directly with her niece, and I believe her former, her husband. So that might not be one step close to my cousins, but it does feel a step closer to my father's life before I met him, and before I was born, and anything that helps me reestablish a connection to my dad, who I love and miss really dearly. And also reconnect to my Danish roots, which are very important to me, is something that's a good thing. So next time you see me, I'm probably going to have super short hair, because I'm about to get all of this shaved off. So I'm going to have a skinhead when you see me next time, I think. Or I might be wearing a baseball cap and just might not show you my haircut. There's a reason for that, but I can't talk about it. In the meantime, remember what I always say, don't forget to pick up the phone and call somebody that you care about. Just let them know that you care about them a little bit more. And in the meantime, I will see you soon.